Today we're going to talk about how to select your cast. So we already know that you can draw a form by dragging one of the tools, one of the shape tools. You already know about the form pointer and what that looks like, and you right clicked to add cast. So we'll just add some cast here. And it adds the number based on the length of this and the default spacing. You can change the number, but if you drag this form, you already know that the spacing will change. But how do you move the cast around? So let's move this right here. Let's just draw an arc down here. We take our form pointer, move the middle handle to move the arc. Let's move it right here. And let's draw a circle right here. So you take this face pointer, or the blockhead pointer, it looks like a head. It's for moving cast members. Notice the arrow has a different appearance. And you can drag a box to select the cast. You see they light up a different color. By the way, we already know you can use this to zoom in, so let's just zoom in on this area and everything will look just a little bit bigger. It's going to make it a little bit easier to see what we're talking about. Once these are selected with your person pointer, with your blockhead pointer, notice how they change color. That's how you know you can grab it right there. Left mouse button down and drag, hold it down and drag, and you can put them on any other form. And see, the reason you know where to drop them, when you reach your target, it'll change color. And it turns that color, drop it, and now you just took some cast members and you moved them to another form. The same thing can happen. Let's say we add some cast members here. Just right click on your form, choose the add cast from the menu. Let's make it fewer. You can click here. Now we have some cast on here. So let's say, for example, if we want to delete some cast, you select everything in the box here. You can hit the delete key. Delete selected forms? No. Delete selected cast? Yes. So we just deleted some cast members. By the way, to unselect things, you click in the open area. So we took a forms pointer, we had that form selected, we clicked in the open area, and now it's not selected. Same thing with the people. If we drag a box to select all these casts, we click in the open area, now they're not selected. I want to show you how to drop people in between too. So say that we have some people here. Say we take these four. We know we want to put them on this formation, but where? See the red rectangles that light up? There's always two people that you're going to drop it in between. And sure enough, there's a red rectangle around those two people. So if we want to drop them between these two people, we wait till we see the rectangle, drop them right there, and that's exactly where they'll go. So let's show you that again. Drag some people, pick them up. See, I missed them right there. Pick them up. Here they're floating around. Now there's our target, there's the rectangle. Say we want to choose these two people, drop them in there. And that's how you can do that. And you know, if you hit the letter I on your keyboard, the I is a shortcut for the view show cast captions, which is going to turn on these numbers. So if you can't, you know, it helps you to tell people apart just a little bit. So if we select these people, say, we're dragging them, we'll put them right in between 17 and 18 here. So sure enough, they are between 17 and 18. So that's where we dropped them. I'll just turn those numbers off for now. Another important thing is the lasso tool. This lasso tool, you click, use this tool to lasso and select cast members. So when you have this thing, you can hold the mouse down and actually just drag a polygon. This is actually drawing a polygon. You double click to finish. Just like when you're using the polygon form tool. To draw a form that's a polygon, the same thing. You can use a series of clicks to draw a polygon, double click to finish, double click to finish, or you can draw a polygon by just holding your mouse down and rolling it like that and double click to finish. We can hit the delete key to delete those forms. Delete selected forms, yes. Delete cast members, no. We just wanted to delete those forms. The point is, that's how the polygon works. The lasso tool works the same way. You can work it with a series of clicks like this, click, 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 and draw a lasso and double click to finish. Or you can just hold your button down and just roll it around like this. The point being, the lasso helps you for the following reason. If you want to select just the people on the arc, if you were to drag a whole box, you'd get some people here that you didn't want. You just want the people on the arc, not the people on the circle. So if you lasso them like this, you can lasso an odd shape, and now you get just the people you wanted. Another thing about selecting, if you can click on one person to select to. But notice when you select something, it selects that thing and it unselects everything else. So I'm selecting people one at a time. But here's what happens when I hold the shift key down. So by holding the shift key down and clicking all over these people, I keep adding people to the select. And it doesn't unselect the ones that I've already selected. So I've selected people all over different parts of the field, and I can drop them right there. So here's another thing you can do with that. You can also take a box, and if you select another box, it unselects your first selection. So what you do is hold the shift key down, and here's how you can do that. So that's another way to select this arc. Let's unselect everything by clicking in the open area. You unselect everything. So I'll show that again to select just the people on the arc by using a series of boxes, but you're holding the shift key down. So I think that's pretty obvious. That's one way to select people. So we talked about this pointer, we talked about dragging people, and we talked about how to put them between two other people. I guess I should talk about the right click. Just like the forms, you can right click for a menu. On the people, you can also right click, and you get different menus that you can use. But for now, let's talk about properties. And properties, you can set a lot of properties. You can set the color and a bunch of things, but we'll talk just a tiny little bit about sections, because these are the brass section. So let's say that we select all of these people right here, and we go up here, not on the right click, but up on this, on the cast menu, get a properties. Now we're doing a properties for all of these cast members here, and they're all brass. We'll change them all to woodwinds. Now we're changing all of them. Notice that if you get a right click, you're always doing the properties only for that person you right clicked on. See, did you notice how we lost our selection? All these people were selected. We right click this one. Suddenly he's the only one selected, so we're doing only his properties. If we want to select all these people and do properties on them, you have to go up here to cast properties. Now we're choosing woodwinds. We made them all woodwinds. The point that I'm trying to make is that you can change the sections your people are in, but you can also select them that way, because we're talking about selecting. One thing on the cast menu, you go by sections, and you can say select all the brass. Okay, now we selected all the brass. Or you can go cast, select by sections, and you have woodwinds. Okay, now it's selecting all the woodwinds. And that's the point I wanted to make about that. You can have different sections and select them by sections. The same thing goes for uniforms, and when we start getting into uniforms, we'll revisit the idea of selecting people by their uniforms. Oh, here's another thing. This is kind of important. If you select a form, and now the form is selected, you can see it has handles and it's a different color. It's selected. So you can use this as a shortcut. Select on selected forms. Now it's selecting all those people. Or if you select two forms, say we've selected both of these forms, now we got two forms selected, cast, select on selected forms. Now all the people on both of those forms are all selected. So this has just been a short lesson about how to select people and move them around, and I don't think it's necessary to talk about anything else today. We'll cover some more topics later.